All right, hi everyone. My name is Jordan Kramer with the Peters Township Fire Department. We are here today to partake in our 9th annual open house, which is going to be done a little bit differently this year. It's been a huge success in the past with over 600 attendees, and between everybody that's logged in right now, we probably have about 250 people joining us, and I know that we're going to have a lot more that are going to be watching this in the days to come. So the day is going to go, it'll take about an hour, and we're going to go through quite a few different segments that focus on fire and life safety and what the Peters Township Fire Department has to offer. We're going to go down to our fire chief and emergency management coordinator, Mike McLaughlin Jr.
Thank you, Jordan, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Like Jordan said, this is one of the most important parts of our fire organization was to have our open house. It's hard to believe this is the 9th year that we're going to bring that to you. We are dearly sorry that you can't join us here at our fire station for this year's event. However, most of my crew, all of my crew told me that it was very prudent that we still held this event because of its impact on the community. There were a number of people that came to me and said, we have to find a way to deliver it. And these guys have really, really come through today. I first want to thank all of them for taking their time to dedicate to your safety and make sure that we can still bring a decent event, a really good event to the community of Peters Township. Like Jordan said, I'm Mike McLaughlin. I'm the fire chief. I've been the fire chief for over a year now. I've been with the organization since 2004 and a proud Peters Township resident almost my entire life. So for our open house, obviously the pandemic has brought a little bit of a different dynamic to that. Our services have continued throughout the entire pandemic and they have not suffered since. We found ways to adapt and overcome and make sure that we're able to provide our services to the community in the best way that we possibly can. And that includes this open house today. I want to speak briefly about what the ISO rating is because we just got word starting that January 1st, our ISO rating will now be at a class 3. We've improved from a class 4. It's a public protection classification that rates our fire suppression delivery to the Peters Township community. And the lower that score is, the better it is, the closer to a 1 that you get, the lower the insurance premiums are for commercial businesses and large premiums in town. It's important to bring businesses to the community. It's important to know that our service to the community is top-notch in the fact that we now fall within the top 14% of fire departments that are ranked by ISO in the nation. That's a very important statistic, and it's important to note that, again, this isn't done by myself or by Deputy Chief Caputo, Assistant Chief Gaughan. This is an effort put forth by the entire organization to be the best that they can to deliver the best service to our community. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining. We're very excited to bring everything to you today. If by some chance we have a glitch, which is most definitely going to happen, it's okay. We'll get right back with you. Believe it or not, every year at our annual open house, we typically have a glitch or two. But the hopeful is that people don't notice and we continue on. We're firefighters, we're fire administrators, and we have a massive help from Peters Township Community Television, Channel 7, Ryan Bonai, Kelsey Sylvester, and their entire team to help bring this to you today. They're doing their best, we're doing our best, stick with us, and let's have a fun day, guys. Right now, we're going to kick it over to firefighter Kalezai and firefighter Sherry Bear for their introductions as well.
Welcome. I'm firefighter Richard.
And I'm firefighter Sherry.
Boys and girls, moms and dads, friends and family, welcome to our 9th annual Peters Township Fire Department open house. This year, we had to think outside the box. A whole new technique on how to keep you safe.
One thing, kids, on how to keep you safe, we want to talk about wearing your masks. When you know that you are at a safe distance, thank you, Sparky. Richard and I know that we are at a safe distance, so we can take our masks off. The second thing, kids, is what we want to do is wash our hands. Washing your hands, keeping you safe, it's going to help you prevent from getting sick. Especially kids getting off the school bus, and right when you get off the school bus, school bus go into your house, wash your hands off, and that's going to help you from getting sick. For the month of October, we'll be having our Life Safety Sunday classes. This will happen on the next 3 Sundays. Today, we will be talking about kitchen fires.
Kids, come join our adventure. For the next 3 Sundays, it's 6 o'clock, we will go over fire safety. We'll explore fire safety, and we'll have fun. We'll learn about fire safety, and we'll have fun. And we'll experience fire safety, and we'll have fun. My, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
It does, Richard. It sounds like you're going to have a lot of fun. We're also going to have a lot of fun, adults as well. So at 7 o'clock, please tune in for our fire prevention topics inside the home. The first topic is going to be about our smoke detectors and our carbon monoxide detectors. The second one is our medical emergencies, and our last one is CPR.
So stay tuned every Sunday and watch us on social media.
Yes, please come and visit us at ptfireprevention.com. Let's get this show on the road. Over to you, Jordan.
All right, thank you, Firefighter Bear and Firefighter Khaleesi, Chief McLaughlin. All right, we're going to start today with Captain Tim Frazier. He's going to be reviewing some of our apparatus in our apparatus bay at Station 641 on East McMurray Road.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Captain Tim Frazier. I'm going to take you on a tour of Engine 641. Engine 641 is one of 2 engines that we have here out of Station 1, along with a ladder truck and a rescue. The primary function of the engine is to get water on the fire. So we'll start with the driver's seat here. This is where the driver sits, and they're responsible for safely operating and getting this truck to the scene. We have all the switches that control lights, sirens, and put it in pump gear. Once the driver is here, then they're going to go back to the pump panel and operate that at the fire. We'll get to that in just a minute. Back here is the crew cab. We can fit up to 4 firefighters in this crew cab. We also wear our seat belts all the time, so we're safe en route to the fire. You'll notice a couple straps here. This is for our air packs. We can put our air packs on, so when we get to the scene, we're ready to go right away. Head over here to the pump panel. This is where the driver operator is going to go on scene, and this is how we get the water to the fire. There's a 750-gallon water tank on this engine, so we carry our own water until we run out. Then we can hook up to the hydrant. We'll talk about that in a moment. This engine is capable of pumping 1,500 gallons of water per minute. So the way this works, you have all these gauges and levers here that control the water going to the various hoses. And to make it as user-friendly as possible, we have them color-coded to match which one is which. This intake here is where we're going to hook the hose up from the hydrant so we can get unlimited water if 750 gallons isn't enough. Now, fire trucks are also toolboxes on wheels. We bring a lot of tools with us. So the first compartment here, we have different size fittings and adapters so that we can connect different size fire hoses. Regular toolboxes, a couple small sections of hose if we come up short somewhere. Over here, this compartment carries various hand tools for forcing entry into locked buildings. The back here we have a couple shovels, some brooms for cleaning up on scene afterwards. In this compartment here, we carry our fan for ventilating all the smoke out of the house after the fire. We also carry scene lights. Once the power is cut to the house, we need to bring our own light. One thing to mention is all the tools that used to be gas powered are now battery powered on this fire engine. So this fan, these lights all run off of battery power. We also carry salvage tarps so we can cover up valuables so they don't get wet. We'll go around to the back here. On the back of the fire engine, this is where we keep the bulk of our hose. So this hose here is a 4-inch diameter hose. This is what hooks up to the fire hydrant. Now we carry 2,000 feet of this. So if the hydrant's 2,000 feet down the road, we have enough to get to it. If it's more than that, we bring another pumper in and make that connection. We carry some larger fire hose for larger fires. This is one of them. In the back, we have some more equipment, some portable foam, a generator. That's the only gas-powered thing on here. If we do need gas power, then we can run that generator. The ladders on the engine are kept inside a compartment, so it keeps them out of the weather and makes it easier for us to get. So we have a 24-foot ladder and a 14-foot ladder. If we need more than that, we go to the ladder truck. Come around this side here. This compartment carries more power tools, and again, they're all battery operated. So we have a battery powered chainsaw, battery tools here, a battery cutoff saw. This one's capable of cutting steel, concrete, and wood. We also have a combination rescue tool here. It's battery operated, capable of spreading and cutting metal. This compartment here, we keep some rope for rescue. This is called a RIT pack. If a firefighter gets lost or runs out of air in a fire, we can get this pack to them and give them more air right away. Carry an assortment of different fire extinguishers for different types of fires. This compartment here is the medical compartment. This engine's certified as an advanced life support unit, so we carry just about everything that an ambulance carries except for the stretcher. So we have a heart monitor, we have all the medical supplies, oxygen, bags for pediatric patients, splints, everything that we would need. That helps us get on scene. If we're closer, we can get on scene before the ambulance does, and we can help them out on the calls they need help with. Moving this way, just the other side of the pump, or I'm sorry, the other side of the crew cab. And then up here is the officer's seat. And Sparky's in there. Hi, Sparky. How are you? Get up and see Sparky. He's over in the driver's seat. So the officer's seat is where the person in charge of this fire engine sits. We have an iPad here. We can pull up all the plans for the building we're responding to, get a good idea of where we're going, and find the closest hydrant. So whoever's in this seat is responsible for looking that stuff up on the way there and talking and communicating with the other fire trucks. That's all there is for this one. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go next to firefighter Kramer and Sparky in the kitchen. Thank you.
Boys and girls, my name is Jordan Kramer. I'm here with Sparky the fire dog, and we're going to talk a little bit about kitchen fire safety as well as other types of fire safety inside of your home. All right? So the first thing we're going to talk about, Sparky, is matches. What do you think about matches?
Dangerous.
No? Yeah, they are a little bit dangerous. So one of the things that starts a fire can be a match or maybe a lighter, right? What do we do when we find a lighter? Yeah, we give it back to an adult, right? Even if we're maybe 8 or 9 years old, we still don't want to leave matches or lighters laying around, especially if we have younger children, brothers and sisters that might be around, right? All right, what happens, Sparky, if I'm playing with this lighter and it catches your clothes on fire?
Stop, drop, and roll.
That's right, we have to stop, drop, and roll if our clothes catch on fire. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later today, but for now, what happens if it's not our clothes and a fire starts maybe in a closet? How are we going to know that there's a fire in a closet?
There's a fire alarm.
That's right. So we have fire alarms in our homes, right? Everybody should have one of these in their bedrooms and on every single floor of their house, right?
Yep.
What does a fire alarm do?
It makes a very loud noise.
It does. Beep, beep, beep.
Beep, beep,
right?
beep.
All right. A fire alarm is just like Sparky's nose. Sparky can smell really well. That's right. So when he smells smoke, he wants to alert people that there's smoke and we have to get out. A fire alarm does the same thing on our ceiling. It's there all the time and it's sniffing for smoke. Whenever it goes off, that means we have to get out and what?
Stay out.
That's right. We have to get out and stay out. Good job, Sparky. All right. So next, we're gonna talk a little bit about fire safety in the kitchen. As you guys know, this month is Fire Prevention Month and Fire Prevention Week, and our topic is fire safety in the kitchen. All right, so there are a couple things that aren't looking too good right now, right, Sparky?
Nope.
What are some of the things we have to change if we look at our stove? That's right. So we have an aerosol can way too close to the stove. We want to keep any type of cleaners far away from heat, right?
Yep.
What's the other problem with that? If we have it stored back here, what am I going to have to do to reach it?
Gonna catch your sleeve on
That's
fire.
right. It could catch my sleeve on fire. Good job, Sparky. All right, what else is a problem here? That's right. If we store things on our stove, very easily they can catch on fire, right? Even if we put them right here and we have something lit over here, the heat travels and can catch our paper towels on fire here. So we want to make sure that we move things like paper towels far away. Good job, Sparky. All right, how about if we have something on the stove, all right, and we're letting it simmer there, can we go into the other room and watch TV?
Nope.
No, we can't. We have to make sure that we stay in the kitchen. What happens if I'm getting something out of the refrigerator and I have my pot like this on the stove? Yeah, it won't be good, right?
No.
So we want to make sure that we move our handles inside so that they can't be knocked off the stove. Sometimes when dogs aren't being good, they can come over and knock it off, right? Or if you have a little brother and sister, they can pull this down and potentially get burned by something hot, and we don't want to do that. How about if we have a fire in a kitchen, Sparky? That's not good, right?
That's not good.
If we have food in this pot right here and it catches fire, what can we do?
Could put a cover over it.
That's right. You want to cover our food? And there we go. It should put it out. If that doesn't put our fire out, we want to get out.
Get out and stay
out. That's right. And then we're going to call
911.
All right. We're going to talk a little bit more about these things later today, but thank you guys for watching Sparky and I and our kitchen fire safety.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Fire is everyone's fight. We all have a role to play in making sure fires don't start. That's why the USFA invites you to join Fire is Everyone's Fight, to protect you and your family from the dangers of fire. A home fire is your most dangerous fire threat. Home fires kill and injure 16,000 Americans annually, and the leading cause of these fires is from cooking. So when you cook, avoid wearing loose clothing. Keep anything that can catch fire away from cooking surfaces. Turn pot handles in, and around cooking areas maintain a 3-foot kid-free zone. Smoke alarms can make the difference between life and death. Install them inside and outside sleeping areas and on all levels of your home. Alarms with long-life batteries are best. Change others every year. Test alarms monthly and replace smoke alarms that are more than 10 years old. Every second counts, so prepare and practice a home fire drill with your family. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Thank you, everybody, for watching the video. Fire is everybody's fight. We have partnered with the USFA this year in bringing forth those efforts. Quickly, we're going to go to an explanation of what it is that we do throughout the day. So we are a combination department where we have career personnel and volunteers that combine to bring this effort of what is the Peters Township Fire Department. Last year, annually, we answered over 1,500 calls for service, and we delivered multiple fire prevention events. We do fire inspections, car seat inspections, and anything and everything to keep the community safe during our workday. Crews work 24/7, 365. Volunteers have put forth an effort to volunteer their scheduled time over 2,000 hours or 2,500 hours last year. And right now we're going to take you to a short video that details things that we do throughout our day.
The Peters Township Fire Department was founded in 1937 as an all-volunteer organization aiming to help neighbors in the event of a fire. Today, the robust department of over 50 dedicated fire and emergency management professionals is comprised of both career and volunteer personnel operating out of 2 fire stations, one of which is staffed 24/7, 365. This guaranteed staffing allows us to ensure that no matter the time of day, a fire apparatus will respond immediately as soon as an emergency call is dispatched. Our firefighters stay extremely busy throughout the day with a plethora of responsibilities and tasks. The day starts with a shift change meeting between the crew that's wrapping up and the one that is about to begin. After this meeting is finished, our focus turns to apparatus and equipment checks. Each day, firefighters perform a basic safety and equipment check on all apparatus, as well as one detailed check that entails a thorough inspection of every item on the truck. The department operates a fleet of 10 vehicles, including 3 engines, a 109-foot ladder truck, a rescue pumper, specialized squads, boats, and a utility vehicle. Most vehicle maintenance is performed in-house by Peters Township firefighters. Additionally, all of our medical equipment is checked to make sure it is working properly and ready in a moment's notice. All of Peters Township's career firefighters, as well as many volunteers, are licensed emergency medical technicians and paramedics. Peters Township Fire Department is one of few in the state of Pennsylvania to have an advanced life support medical license, meaning that 3 of our fire apparatus are equipped with everything an ambulance is required to carry, with the exception of a stretcher. This allows our EMTs and paramedics to administer life-saving care prior to the arrival of an ambulance. Our organization has been recognized by the Pennsylvania Department of Health for achieving expert-level pediatric care for the past 4 years. Our primary concern is an immediate response to any emergency calls received throughout the day. In 2019, the Peters Township Fire Department received over 1,500 emergency calls, which amounts to over 4 calls per day. These calls can range from structure fires to vehicle accidents, various rescues and medical emergencies, and hazardous material spills, among many others. The ability to respond to such a wide array of emergencies requires that we train daily. Each day, crews spend time reviewing various concepts to keep skills fresh. Once a week, we have a department-wide training or drill. Second to emergency response comes community risk reduction, a detailed and methodic approach to preventing fire and life safety hazards throughout the township, and accounts for much of our firefighters' time on duty. Community risk reduction can be broken down into 2 areas: fire inspection and code enforcement, and fire prevention and life safety education. Peters Fire appoints 1 firefighter as the fire inspector, who is supported by the on-duty crews, many of whom possess fire inspector credentials. The fire inspector is involved in all aspects of new construction and renovations, as well as occupancy changes. They are also tasked with investigating and responding to citizen complaints and issues found by crews while on emergency calls. On-duty crews perform annual fire and life safety inspections, in addition to quarterly inspections of fire department connections and Knox boxes. All educational and daycare facilities, as well as nursing homes and personal care homes, receive a monthly fire drill. Residential fire and life safety inspections are also available on request. Our fire and life safety educational programs are designed to reach residents from preschool age to senior care facilities. On any given day, you can find Peters firefighters teaching classes that range from preventing fires and operating fire extinguishers to CPR and stop the bleed. Classes are performed for students, businesses, medical professionals, and many other groups. Many of our firefighters are also certified car seat technicians, installing over 500 seats annually and making us one of the busiest car seat stations in the state. Under the direction of Fire Chief and Emergency Management Coordinator Mike McLaughlin Jr., Peters Township firefighters are responsible for emergency management, charged with reducing our vulnerability to hazards and coping with man-made and natural disasters. Much time is spent on planning and preparing for these incidents through joint training between township and regional response organizations. Peters Township firefighters also inspect township AEDs and fire extinguishers, review fire hydrant placement, and update mapping software to ensure our apparatus arrive in the most efficient way possible. Supporting the community who supports us is another priority. When our schedule allows, you can find us throughout the community at races, fundraisers, collecting money or items for social causes, and participating in events such as our open house, Public Safety Day, and Community Day. Once we've completed all of our pre-scheduled assignments and emergency response, Peters firefighters spend time with the upkeep of our buildings and grounds. From daily duties like mowing, mopping, and sanitizing, to planting flowers and painting, we take pride in our facilities. Maintaining physical fitness is an important role of a firefighter, and as time allows, our firefighters make use of our recently renovated gym. All of these activities are documented, allowing us to track department operations and make evidence-based decisions about the future of our organization. Regardless of the time of day, Peters firefighters are here, learning, preparing, and responding to your needs. 24/7, 365. All right, so as you can see, every day we have a lot going on here at the Peters Township Fire Department. Now we're going to head down to Captain Chris Chiprich and Captain Chris Barton, who are going to explain a little bit about our ladder truck, which was purchased in 2018.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Captain Chris Chiprich. This is Captain Chris Barton. Today we're going to take a quick look at our ladder truck here. It's a 2018 Rosenbauer. It has a 109-foot ladder. It also carries a complement of ground ladders as well that go up to 35 foot. We typically use this truck for first out for all of our commercial buildings in the township, and it goes second out for any type of residential alarm we have in the township as well. Some of the advantages of having a ladder truck like this is we can use it as an elevated master stream. So if we do have to use defensive tactics at a fire, we could put our ladder in the air and use it as an elevated master stream. We can also use it on our commercial buildings where our 35-foot ladders won't reach. This has a 109-foot reach, so we can do rescues off the ladder and also use it as an external standpipe as well if one of our buildings doesn't have a standpipe. We're going to take you guys through the process of setting the ladder truck up. So Captain Barton's going to start the truck. We're going to put the outriggers out, and then we'll set up that process. So stand by with us while Chris does that. He's walking over to start the truck now. It's going to be a little bit loud, so you may not be able to hear me all that great. But Chris, when he comes to put the outriggers out, he has to use these outrigger plates that he'll slide onto the bottom parts of the outriggers. The outriggers are all hydraulic, and they'll extend out. Now Chris, typically on a call, he'll chock the front tires, which he did on the other side already. We carry wheel chocks right there, so it keeps the truck from shifting forward. All right, now Chris is going to take the outrigger plates and he's going to place them onto the bottom parts of the outriggers. Now they're all color coded for each outrigger. So there's two outriggers on this side and there's two outriggers on the other side. So Chris will go on the other side now and do the exact same thing. If you guys want to come back here, all the operations and controls for the ladder truck sit on the rear of the truck right here. So our control panels are all here. On these control panels, it tells us whether or not we're in a waterway mode or in rescue mode. It tells us how level the truck is. It tells us if our outriggers are at 100%. So if you come over here, you can see that Chris is extending the outriggers here, and he wants to get it up just high enough to get the bulge out of the tires. Now he'll switch to the other side. And you can walk over here and you can see these outriggers going down. All right, Chris wants to pay attention to the level of the truck. He's about dead center, which is perfect. Now you can see Chris has got pins in his hands. We have to pin every one of these outriggers. And then he's going to flick the switch from outrigger and he's going to transfer the power up to the turntable so we can use the ladder. So there's 4 pins total, all for each outrigger. All right, guys, I'm going to have you guys go to Firefighter Sherry and with Sparky, and she's going to talk about bedroom safety while Chris and I get the rest of the truck set up. I'll see you in a bit.
Hi guys, I'm Firefighter Sherry and I'm here today with Sparky, and we're here to talk to you about, in case there's a fire in your home, what you need to do. The first thing you do need to do is close before you doze. So we want to make sure that your bedroom door is shut before you go into bed at nighttime. When you're in bed nice and snug, if in case the fire alarm does go off, we need you to get up immediately. It's going to be loud. It may hurt your ears, but just come over to your door first and feel with the back of your hand. And if the door is cold, go ahead and take a peek out the door and make sure there's no smoke and fire, and stay low and go and get out. If the door is hot to the touch, kids, what you want to do is make sure you put your back of your hand on the door again, and if it's hot, get a blanket from your bed or a pillow or even a sheet. Put it underneath the doorway so no more smoke can come in. Then you're going to want to come up and go over to your window. When you go over to your window, unlock it, open it up, and yell for help. The first responders should be down there, and if they don't see you, start throwing a few things out the window, whether it's a toy, a stuffed animal, or even a pillow. With that being said, we just want you to remember, kids, there's always 2 ways out. So the first thing is close your door before you fall off to sleep. The second thing is make sure you stay low to the ground and low and go to get out. And the last thing is we need you to have a meeting place outside of your home. It could either be the driveway, a mailbox, or even a tree. Ready, Sparky? Let's go to our meeting place. Once you're out, you guys, get out and stay out. And remember to call 911. Tune in for the next 3 Sundays to learn more. We'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, Firefighter Sherry and Sparky. We're going to be talking a little bit more about bedroom fire safety next Sunday, so don't forget to join us at 6 p.m. All right, we're going to go back to Captains Chiprich and Captain Barton as they are setting up our ladder truck for aerial operations.
Welcome back, everybody. As you can see now, the truck's ready for us to put our ladder in the air. Captain Barton has transferred the power up to the turntable, and he's now on the turntable. Chris is going to use the controls to raise the ladder and extend it fully. Once Chris has it extended fully, he's going to climb the ladder. We typically do this every Thursday. We have to do a full check on the ladder truck, set it up, extend it, climb it. While Chris is climbing the ladder, he's checking the lights, checking for good cable tension, make sure there's no damage to the ladders. Chris is using a remote control, and it's just one lever that has all the controls on it, where he can extend it, he can retract it, he can make the ladder go right to left. Chris is wearing a ladder belt and a helmet, so as he gets higher up on the ladder, Chris will start clipping in for safety in case he slips or falls. But as he's going up the ladder, he's checking to make sure there's no damage. Every time we use that as an elevator master stream, we have to put a firefighter up there, and there's controls for the gun up there so we can control whenever we're using the elevator master stream. You can see there's a little stand that Chris just put down where he can stand on, and now he'll lock in. Now Chris is in position. He's going to unlock, and then he's going to come back down the ladder. Typically we climb this ladder at calls. Chris doesn't have full gear on right now, but we climb this in full gear, SCBA on. We're carrying multiple tools. We're carrying saws with us. We use the ladder truck for doing vertical ventilation. So there's a lot more equipment, and you have to be well trained and suited to climb that ladder truck. It's 109 feet in the air, so if you are skittish at heights, you have to get used to it. All right, once Chris comes back down, he's going to stow the ladder truck away. Now he's utilizing the controls again. All right. All right, I want to thank everyone for watching us set the ladder truck up. We appreciate everybody, and remember, fire is everyone's fight.
Nice job, Captain Chiprich. Thank you so much for the demonstration and presentation of the ladder truck. Obviously, one of the bigger tools that we have in our toolbox, and one of the newer ones from 2018. We want to now take everybody to a Be Kind segment that we recorded with some of our firefighters. In 2020, the Peters Township School District and the community adopted a Peters Township Year of Kindness motto and organization. As a part of that, we wanted to make sure that we put forth our best effort to be kind to the community, be kind to each other, and give everybody the customer service in the community that they deserve every time we deal with them on an emergency response. Let's go now to the kindness video pre-recorded.
The fire service is all about caring, compassion, and having the ability to help your fellow community members.
One of the things that is most telling about the fire service is how kind we are to strangers, to people that we've never met before.
And regardless of who we encounter, how they treat us, it is important that we treat everyone with the same level of respect without any outside factor coming into play. And I think that that's something that we all need to do in our daily lives, to treat others the same way.
I think helping others and being kind is something that this world needs a lot more of.
Be kind to people you know, be kind to strangers, because a lot of times they need it. They're just having a hard day, and you being kind to them may be able to help them out a little bit to feel better, or to step forward and give them assistance with just some small thing can make a world of difference.
We could be a lot more successful as people in a society and as a community if we help each other.
Being kind is one of the best things that you can do. When someone's having a bad day, whether it's just smiling at them, whether it's just telling them, hey, you look real nice. Being kind is the best compliment that you can get from someone.
We come to work every day with the mindset of being kind to our coworkers, being kind to our community, and ultimately being kind to ourselves.
It's a feeling of just complete satisfaction, knowing I'm helping other people, my fellow firefighters, the community.
Kids need to remember is that every single day they have the opportunity to be a hero to someone else. So by showing someone kindness when they're having a bad day, by helping somebody up when they fall down, when they drop their books, you have the opportunity to totally change that person's day, to be a hero every single day.
So, be kind.
Be kind. Be kind.
Be kind. Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
Be kind.
All right, so as you can guys see, it's really important that we treat everybody with the same amount of respect every single day in what we do. So the next thing that we're gonna do is talk a little bit about the contest that we had throughout the township. We're gonna go live to firefighter Sean Walters, firefighter Sherry Bear, and I think Sparky might join them at some point.
Hi, I'm firefighter Sean.
And I'm firefighter Sherry.
Now we're going to move on to the competition, we'll say, of our open house here. We challenged you to come up with some creative ideas, to think outside the box, just to get some different ideas. We got a lot of good responses. I just want to say thank you to all the participants. Yeah, thank you guys. It was great. First, we're going to start with the stop, drop, and roll. Let's take a look at some of the videos.
Wow, what an awesome job by all you guys. Great job, don't you guys agree? Awesome
Amazing,
job.
guys, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. We are so proud of you. So just to let you know, we will be awarding every participant. We will be in touch with you on Tuesday to schedule a drop-off to give you your prize.
Now we're going to take a look at a quick video about closing before you doze.
Hey, did you hear fire is getting faster because of modern materials, construction, and furniture?
Yeah, close your bedroom door at night and take heed. It helps to slow a fire's speed. So...
Close your bedroom door at night, just in case the house ignites. It helps to slow a fire's speed and buys the minutes that you need. If you can get out, you gotta get out. Shut your door on the way out. It makes the fire's growth real tough, and that could save your favorite stuff. If no exit's clear to you, well then move on to your plan two. Shut a door if you get stuck, to buy more time for fire trucks. Close your bedroom door at night, just in case the house ignites. It helps to slow a fire speed and buys the minutes that you need. So check those smoke alarms real good. Have an escape plan as you should. Just don't forget what you can do to keep those flames away from you. Close your bedroom door at night, just in case the house ignites. Close your bedroom door at night. Close your bedroom door at night.
All right, what a great reminder to close before you doze. Now it's time to talk about our agility contest. Each year, we as firefighters and Sparky participate in an agility test just to make sure that we're ready to go at any minute. We're going to go outside right now to Assistant Chief Gaughan to explain a little more about our agility test. Chief Gaughan?
Hello, I'm Bill Gaughan, Assistant Fire Chief of the Peters Township Fire Department. We're here today to talk about and demonstrate our firefighter agility test. This is a test that all of our firefighters and new recruits have to take and pass every year to ensure a level of fitness and capability for duty for each one of our firefighters who serve you. It's modeled after the International Firefighter Combat Challenge Games, which has been around for 30 years. Several of our firefighters compete every year and even making it to the World Championships. We do this to make sure that firefighters can do what's required of them on the job, and it's a series of stations using our fire gear, using what we call evolutions, such as dragging hose, climbing ladders, rescuing a victim, to ensure that everybody has that level of fitness every year within the fire department. What we're going to go to now is firefighter Daniel Harvison running through the entire course for you. All firefighters need to complete this course in 6.5 minutes or less. Firefighter Harvison is starting with the hose drag, which mirrors dragging fire hose off of fire trucks when we arrive at a scene. Next, he is carrying up a pack of fire hose that weighs about 60 pounds up several flights of stairs, which is what we do anytime there's a fire above the first floor of a building. He now moves to the ladder carry to simulate removing a ladder from fire apparatus and carrying it up and down a hill 200 feet. At that point, he then places it to the side of the building. Next, firefighter Harvison climbs a fully extended 24-foot two-story ladder to be able to enter, search, and rescue anyone inside the second floor of a building. The next station, the firefighter goes through the wall scale, which shows their ability to lift their weight through any open window or opening in a building and get through to the other side. The next station, firefighter Harvison will shuttle relay 3 pieces of equipment weighing at least 30 pounds up 3 flights of stairs and back down to simulate carrying equipment into and out of a burning building. This station is a sledgehammer to hit a tire, driving it 16 feet at waist level down a platform to simulate any type of forcible entry or strenuous exercise on the fire ground. The next station, firefighter Harvison will crawl through a tunnel to simulate working in a confined space or a burning building where there is not much room to work. For the last station, firefighter Harvison will pick up the 175-pound weighted rescue dummy and drag it 50 feet. This simulates helping remove a person from a building who's in distress. Great work, Dan. Excellent run. Now back to you.
Thanks, Chief Gahn. So we have invited children throughout our township to create their own version of their agility test. Let's take a look.
Hello, fire department. How can I help you? Okay, we're on our way. Suit up!
Wow, what a great job. What do you think, Sparky? He loves it, guys. With all the submissions, they were all so good that once again, we were going to award everybody. So we'll be in contact with you this Tuesday to set up a time for the drop-off of your prizes.
And again, thanks to all of you for being so creative. Back to you.
But you can't come in unless you give the password.
Yes, you can, buddy.
Hey, Star, we got trick-or-treater.
All right, and our next segment is going to have to do with rescue and vehicle rescue. Chief McLaughlin's going to tell us a little bit more about that.
Thank you, Jordan. So each year at our open house, we have an annual demonstration for all of our visitors. This year, we're going to bring that demonstration to you live, still from the fire station and out back of our facility. Like explained many times previously in our presentation today, we respond to a variety of different types of incidents. We can go on structural fires, vehicle fires, medical calls, and in this case, an accident with entrapment. So out back of our fire station, we have simulated a vehicle crash, and we will have our crews respond to the accident scene. In this case, we'll have participants simulating trapped inside of a vehicle, and they'll be able to be cut out by our crews and rescued. We're going to run this just as we do a live incident. We train on this multiple times throughout the year. This serves as another portion of our training. Those tones are us getting the call. Our crews are going to be dispatched here shortly. Just like you heard our dispatcher saying, this is the exact type of call that we'd be dispatched to. We have a wonderful crew at Washington County that handles thousands and thousands and thousands of emergency calls each year. We thank them for their participation in our drill today as well. As vehicles start to arrive, typically an officer will get to the scene first. In this case, we have an officer arriving on scene that gives a brief size up, explains the actions that they need and the conditions that they have. We call it a CAN report, conditions, actions, needs. In this case, he's going to describe a two-vehicle accident, T-bone style collision, both vehicles on all fours. We're going to take immediate action to look for injuries, make sure everybody's safe. That's Chief Gahn walking around the vehicle now doing exactly that. And we have needs as well. Those needs he was describing were needs to make sure the patients are safe. We're going to get them out in the safest manner we possibly can. And in some cases, that involves removing the vehicle from around them to make sure that they don't get hurt worse than they were in the crash. As crews assemble, there's multiple tasks that need to take place. Stabilizing the vehicles. As you can see, they're on a hillside. When vehicles crash, they're probably the most unstable that they can be. Crews will take efforts to chock the tires, put the vehicles in park, and apply the parking brake to make sure that they're going to be stable as we remove patients from the vehicles. Fire extinguishers are brought on site as well to ensure that we don't have any flare-up fires. Obviously, there's fuels, oils, and so forth inside of the vehicles that could be leaking, spilled out, that we're going to mitigate at the same time. A fire extinguisher is brought on site anytime that we're removing patients from a vehicle, whether it be with hydraulic rescue tools or by manual methods as well. Once the vehicle stabilized, we have one crew member go inside of the vehicle to make sure the patient is comfortable as they can be. This is going to be an uncomfortable situation for anybody. That customer service mindset that we talked about earlier really plays into effect here. Being kind to them, talking to them, learning their name, and knowing what it is their injuries are. If no injuries, letting them know that we're here to make them safe and bring them out of the vehicle without them being injured at all. On the scene of a vehicle crash, so many things happen at once. With the inside rescuer, people setting up for stabilization, making the vehicle safe, and preparing it to take the tools out. Right here you see Captain Chiprich is removing the rear window so that we can put the rescue tools inside. This is not typical glass. This is tempered glass. This glass is hard to break, and when it does break, it breaks into little pellets. Those pellets are still sharp, but not as sharp as a standard piece of glass. You saw Captain Chiprich really hammering on that window earlier without it breaking. What did break that window was a small little center punch that spring-loaded and made the glass shatter. Right here, he's taking the spreaders to the driver's side rear door, and he's doing what's called a spread to open up and get a purchase point on the back door. We call this move a vertical crush. In this case, crews are going to do what's called a rip and blitz of the driver's side to take the entire driver's side doors and rear doors off in one maneuver. After Captain Chiprich made that purchase point, he now comes to the rear and starts using the spreaders to pinch open the rear door. That's actually a really good shot right there. You can see sometimes we have an issue with the sheet metal on the outside of the vehicle tearing instead of spreading. So here, Captain Frazier comes in with the cutters and cuts the door from the pin. We're now able to open that door and move on to the next maneuver. What we do now is we continue to talk to the inside rescuer, letting them know what it is we're going to be doing next so they can anticipate every move. Captain Frazier takes that same cutter and cuts a very, very big hole at the base of that post. Now Captain Chipperich can come in and spread that post away from the vehicle. As the rear door gets removed, you can see in the driver's window, there's a blanket that covers the passengers inside. The inside rescuer is also with the passengers to ensure their safety and comfortability throughout this. That blanket isn't just an ordinary blanket that we might use. That is a special rescue blanket that shields the victims from glass, sharp objects, and other things that might fly throughout the extrication process. You can see how, even though the vehicle is stabilized, as they cut and remove things away from the vehicle, it will move every once in a while. The stabilization efforts are done to minimize that movement to keep the patients and passengers safe in the vehicle. This next maneuver is one of the most critical, as they're continuing to work that post down below, and to be able to take this off in one movement, it's going to take a coordinated effort from the firefighter working the cutting tool and the firefighter working the spreading tool to make sure that both of their jobs are done to the best of their ability. And here in a couple seconds, we'll be able to see that come off together as one piece. What they do also is anytime before they make a cut or a spread, they're removing the plastic from around the vehicle to make sure there aren't any airbag sensors on the back side of that post. As we know, vehicles are designed to be extremely safe these days, and airbags in a vehicle can and will be anywhere. So when they remove those, the rubber and the plastic pieces, they simply check for the bag and the cylinder that might actuate that bag. Now you can see the driver's door and the rear passenger door coming off in the same movement. Now Captain Chipperich is going to take, Captain Frazier is going to take his cutters and simply cut the hinges to the driver's door. Now they've come off as one. The reason we make them come off as one is to give us that really big open and working space inside of that vehicle. When we bring the passenger out, we want to make sure we have the most room possible. If you're going to take the tools to the vehicle, you do it so that you don't have to do it again. Do it all at first and get it over with. Now we have a very, very large working space to get inside and make sure we can remove that patient safely. Crews use a variety of tools as well, not just cutters and spreaders. Right now you see Captain Chipperich using a Sawzall. This is similar to a residential Sawzall that we might be able to buy at a hardware store. We obviously make sure that it meets the rigorous demands of the fire service. We have specialized blades, longer life batteries, and we make sure that we buy the more powerful saws so that they can stand up to this type of abuse. We label the post of a vehicle by using the alphabet, A, B, C, and D. We can go all the way to Z and AA if we need to, like we would on buses. But anytime you see the post that he's cutting there, you start at the front of the vehicle by the windshield. We label that the A post. The B post is the post behind the driver and in front of the rear passengers. And the C post on this vehicle is the one with the rear window. Captain Chipperich cut the C post with the Sawzall. Now he's attempting to cut the B post with the Sawzall also. Crews are now taking out the windshield. Windshields are special glass also. The windshield glass is laminated by plastic, so it stays together as one piece. It doesn't break off into shards. This creates a challenge for us when we have to remove the windshield because we literally have to saw it with a handsaw to get through the plastic and the glass. It's a dangerous move, and it's a good thing those guys are wearing masks because sometimes that glass can send off dust, and we want to make sure that we don't inhale that dust either. That windshield now comes up front, they lay it onto the hood, and they're ready to continue their moves. Next, they're going to take the entire roof off. The C post and the B post have been completely cut away on both sides. Now Captain Frazier works the cutters on the A post on the driver's side. Captain Chipperich works the Sawzall on the A post on the passenger side. Those tools are pretty heavy too, guys. They're making it look pretty easy. If you remember the open house last year or public safety day that we did when we were crushing cans, those tools are pretty heavy. Where Captain Chipperich was using the Sawzall, now he makes a call and he wants to use the O cutters on the A post on the passenger side. It's going to be a quicker move for him now that he's got through 2 posts with the Sawzall. He's going to get a little more cable and be able to take that off. Crew stabilize the roof, again, to keep the patient safe inside. Captain Chipperich makes his final cut. You see the metal pop, and they're ready to remove the roof completely from the vehicle. We've now exposed the inside rescuer and the patient, and we're ready to remove them from the crash. We use a long backboard to stabilize the patient throughout the entire process. Now that the vehicle's been opened, it's easy access to the patient. Crews will put them onto the backboard and remove the patient from the vehicle. In this case, our patient is one of our firefighters, as we use multiple times in training. And that victim is removed safely from the vehicle. Excellent job to those guys down there working. We really appreciate them using that. We also like to thank Wagner's Auto Body for giving us and getting the vehicles here in a timely manner to make sure we were able to do this for you guys. As they package up the patient, we're going to go on to the next segment and what is our recruitment video. Enjoy.
We've been volunteer firefighters here in Peters Township protecting our community for 80 years. We're looking for you, that next generation of firefighters, to step in here, be a part of this tradition of being part of our community, protecting our homes, protecting our families, and protecting our friends. We are what we call a combination fire department. We are comprised of both career and volunteer firefighters. That differs from a traditional volunteer fire department. We have firefighters on duty 24 hours a day. Our funding is a combination of the support from our residents and the support from our municipalities. So what that lets us do as volunteers is train as firefighters all the time, achieve new levels of certification, spend more time manning the stations.
For me, being a volunteer firefighter means that I get to give back to my community.
Together, we are responsible for the safety of our family, friends, and neighbors. Step up and answer the next alarm.
Would you be willing to step up?
Join us and answer the next alarm.
Are you willing to step up to the challenge of being a Peters Township volunteer firefighter?
Are you ready to answer the next alarm?
Hi, it's Richard again. I just wanted you to know that Peters Township Fire Department is very pro fire alarms, okay, and smoke detectors, okay? And it says here that smoke alarms provide early warning of a fire. It don't sound like, but think of this, okay? Half the fire deaths happen between 11 at night and 7 in the morning when we're all sleeping. So watch this video and pay close attention. You have any questions? Call the fire department's non-emergency number.
Well, that's one way to smoke a salmon, Billy. Don't worry. As one of Billy's smoke alarms, we go way back. I used to beep, beep, beep at Billy when he cooked dinner in the past. I've improved over the years. Unlike his cooking, my new technology helps reduce cooking nuisance alarms. You see, I can now better distinguish between smoke from a fire and smoke from Billy's dreams of becoming the next Iron Chef. Oh, there, Billy. It's important to have good relationships with your smoke alarms. Your smoke alarms are here to protect you. Listen to us. We are your friends.
More than half of all home fire deaths occur when there are no working smoke alarms. Make sure you have working smoke alarms in your home.
Oh, Bob. Looks so cute all sleepy-like. And I look so cute all vigilant-like. Feeling myself. Okay, checklist. Connected? Check. Working batteries? Check me out. Oh, sorry, Bob. Make sure your smoke alarms are always working and able to be heard from your bedroom so you can sleep tight knowing, I got your back, boo.
Most home fire deaths occur at night while people are sleeping. Make sure you have working smoke alarms in your home.
Becky! That's not ginger snap pumpkin pie spice, Becky. It's a fire. Becky, you have less than 3 minutes to escape. Leave those chakra crystals and get out. Good thing I was here.
You have 3 minutes or less to escape your home in the event of a fire. Make sure you have working smoke alarms in your home.
In less than 30 seconds, a small flame can get out of control and turn dangerous. Fire is fast. It only takes minutes for thick black smoke and flames to fill a house. There is no time to grab things to take with you. There is only time to escape. Fire is hot. A fire's heat can kill. Room temperatures can be 100 degrees at the floor and rise to well over 600 degrees near the ceiling. In only a few minutes, a room can get so hot that everything in it catches on fire at once. This is called flashover. Fire is dark. Fire isn't bright, it's pitch black. Fire is deadly. Smoke and toxic gases kill more people than flames do. Fire is fast. Know the facts.
Hi, I'm Dave Caputo, the Deputy Fire Chief here at Peters Township. As you've seen a few times, smoke detectors are really important to us, and they help save lives in your home if there's ever a fire, notify you directly if there's a fire. We want you to get out of your house and be safe, but make sure you have smoke alarms in your home. Another thing that you can do to help save lives in the community is to understand what to do if somebody suffers a cardiac arrest. A cardiac arrest is when someone's heart and lungs stop working. They become unresponsive, similar to my friend here in front of me. At this point in time, we want to provide CPR to them. One of the two best things that you can do right away, call 911 immediately, okay? get the emergency response going. Here in Peters Township, if somebody suffers a cardiac arrest or any type of priority medical dispatch, it prompts the dispatch from the fire department, the police department, and obviously the Peters Township ambulance. All three services respond together and treat that patient with the best care possible. The next thing you can do after you call 911 is to just push hard and fast on the chest, okay? We're gonna put our two hands right over top, right across the chest in the middle, and we're gonna push hard and fast at a rate of about 100 to 120 per minute. And we're just going to keep pushing hard and fast until help arrives. When you get tired or after about 2 minutes, if there's somebody else that can step in and push on the chest as well, have them do that, and you take a break. It is exhausting, okay? But these are all important things. This is just a simple overview of what's called hands-only CPR. We also provide basic life support classes here at the fire department. We provide heart saver CPR and different types of CPR that you can call the fire department, schedule a class, come in and learn a little bit more about how to save lives. Excuse me. The other thing, if you are interested in these types of things, is to take part in our Citizens Fire Academy, which we're going to talk about next. You'll get to meet all kinds of special people like Sparky, my friend here, and learn a lot about what the fire department does and our response to this community. Remember, fire is everyone's fight.
We recently had the opportunity to partner with North Shore Fire Department to provide the Citizens Fire Academy to both of our communities.
The Citizens Fire Academy is a way for a citizen to learn about the inner workings of the fire department, why we do certain things the way we do them.
Signing up to be a part of the Citizens Fire Academy gives a resident a really unique opportunity to get a behind-the-scenes look at what our department and organizational does for the community.
We came down for an open house, and I was like, this is really cool. And then somebody, I think one of the chiefs or the chiefs wrote back and said, well, we're going to have a Citizens Fire Academy. I said, sign me up.
This particular course taught me a lot about things to look for, things like keep your doors closed during a fire. There was just a lot of good information that I gathered from this class.
Obviously, connecting with the community, I think, is what is good about having these types of programs. The hands-on is incredible, which I did not expect.
I think the most beneficial part of this class is learning how many different things the fire department does.
Every week, I had things that I was bringing home and telling my husband and telling my friends.
I really like the fact that we learned a lot about emergency medicine while we took this class. Every week I went home with another new thing.
My biggest takeaway from being involved in the Citizens Fire Academy was more of an insight from the citizens' point of view about the fire department.
Everyone should feel safe that their fire department is just a phone call away, and you will be there to take care of them.
We are a very fortunate community to have such professionalism and top-notch people, top-notch equipment. We're so well protected.
I would encourage people to take this course. I think that's the best way to learn about it and to truly come to appreciate the resources that we have in our community.
It doesn't matter how old you are, how mobile, there's something in each class for everyone.
You should take this class. You won't forget it. I thought it was one of the best classes I've ever taken.
All right, so this year we're going to be having a hybrid Citizens Fire Academy, meaning that our classroom portions are going to be held via Zoom, and our practical portions are going to be in person on Sundays in small groups and socially distanced. So we welcome people over the age of 16 to join us for this. It's a great opportunity to get to know us and to learn a little bit about what we do, as well as what to do in the event of an emergency. So the deadline to apply is Wednesday, October 7th. You can call us with questions or email fire@peterstownship.com. Visit ptfireprevention.com to sign up. All right, so that concludes most of our portions for today. We're gonna head back and talk to firefighter Bear and firefighter Khaleesi real quick. about what we can expect in the weeks coming up.
Thank you, kids, for joining us on our adventure. This is the first of 4 adventures. We did number 1. We have 3 more weeks to go. Each one on Sunday is starting at 6 o'clock for the children and 7 o'clock for the adults. Okay? If you stay with us for our whole adventure, we have a gift bag to give you. And just a few things for the kids that will be in the gift bag. Everyone gets a helmet because you can't be a fireman without a helmet. Okay? A coloring book, safety program book. Okay? A little mini hand sanitizer because we want to stay safe. And a water bottle because we all have our own water bottles now. This will be yours. Okay? Sherry, what does the adults get?
Well, as for the adults, Richard, what we have is a nice oven mitt for the parents. And we also have a first aid kit, and we know we can always use these for those little cuts and bruises. We also have a nice ruler, and of course, hand sanitizer to keep those hands clean. Last but not least, we'll be giving the parents your home fire safety checklist. So from all of us here at Peters Township Fire Department, we just want you to remember, it's everyone's fight. See you next week.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us. We really appreciate it. We've got quite a lineup over the next 3 weeks of events that you can join us for. ptfireprevention.com is the way that you can see them. And we'll go to Chief McLaughlin one more time.
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you all of the Peters Township firefighters for making this happen. The weeks and hours that this took to prepare and put together was a truly amazing effort. I want to thank all the PT firefighters, the Peters Township Television Cable Channel 7 crew, and the entire community of Peters Township for your support of the fire department and our mission to deliver safety to our residents, businesses, and travelers about. As mentioned earlier today, this is a massive team effort. And if you want information about joining our team, simply visit our website at www.ptfd64.org. Thank you guys for coming today. We really appreciate it. I'm truly amazed by this effort and how well it went. I thank you guys for joining. I thank all of our crews for being here. Stay safe, and remember, fire's everyone's fight. Take care. Have a good day.